Yo, this is Soul Drum 86 bringing you another video. I have two topics that I want to cover in this video, man. I'm gonna try not to get long-winded. I just kind of want to be straight to the point with both of my topics. I didn't want to, well, I thought about separating these videos, but I really do want to get this straight and to the point. So hopefully I can do that with this video. No gameplay, man. I just want to sit and talk. I don't want anything really distracting me in the background, but I just wanted to put the game on because I'm talking about the game and I'm going to be talking about professional wrestling in the way that it is today. All right, so first things first, I want to talk about universe mode. So I've been seeing videos still going on about universe mode, the problems that it has. We all know the issues that it has. One of the things that I see a lot of people say that play universe mode, they get the questions like, how do you keep track of everything? How do you keep track of this and that, blah, 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 blah. And so you'll hear a lot of people say like they use spreadsheets. They do all of this like, extra outside stuff that's, outside of the game, like spreadsheets on their computer, on their phone, tablet, whatever. But they use a spreadsheet. They keep track of the spreadsheet. I've seen some people say that they write stuff down like in a notebook. Wouldn't it be cool if 2K kind of took care of that for people? So while you're going through your universe mode, you can check back, periodically, weekly, what you've done in like the past month and in the past week. So you don't have to use any outside, devices to keep track of your universe mode. I feel like that just makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like there's other games and other sports games that allow you to they keep track of everything that you've done. So it'd be kind of cool if like, it helped with, oh, you had these two guys in a storyline, or you had these tag teams in a storyline, and this is what happened. This is the cut scene that you chose and all of the other stuff. I feel like, keeping track of like who's been the champs and all of that. I feel like the game should do that for you. There should be like an extra menu inside of universe mode that literally tracks what you've done week to week, month to month. If you end up doing a few years, like, keeping it up, updated to even that. So there's that. Another thing that universe mode needs, and we've talked about this on my channel at nauseum. I've made a ton of videos about this, but it's worth saying again, right? NBA 2K, I don't play anymore. I did not buy 2K24, not my thing anymore. However, the one thing that I will say about NBA 2K is the immersion. It's the little things that they get right. Now, 2K24, they improved on the small details. They finally did improve on like the little stuff. Like when you select a manager, they stay in their entrance gear. They don't look like they're getting ready to wrestle, which was very stupid. But they don't look like they're getting ready to wrestle. Like if somebody comes in and their entrance gear is a coat and sunglasses and a hat, they're gonna stay in that coat, sunglasses, and hat when they're ringside. That's cool. But immersion matters, right? When you play these games, like I was playing universe mode from like WWE 12. One of the things that I loved was after a pay-per-view, the commentators mentioned that there was a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like it's those little fine details that really do matter. It's small in the grand scheme of things, but it's the small things. It's the really tiny things that when you have enough of them, it becomes this big experience. And so immersion does matter when it comes to video games in general. Immersion matters. So it's like, 2K, they really, I mean, we all know what they need to add in universe mode. We've talked about it ad nauseum, but at the same time, one of the things that they could at least start with is immersion, fixing the commentary. How cool would it be for the commentators to continue to talk about what pay-per-view is coming up in the matches that you're doing, especially your big marquee matches? Maybe not every match that's on your universe mode, but matches that involve a champion, maybe have it to where, oh, hey, we got our pay-per-view coming up Saturday or Sunday. I mean, they don't really allow the PLEs on Saturday still, but for the commentators to mention if you got Money in the Bank coming up, they'll talk about Money in the Bank coming up. If you've got SummerSlam coming up. They'll talk about SummerSlam coming up, and they'll talk about the two guys in the ring that you chose, or the two girls in the ring that you chose to be in a certain storyline. And just to add some dialogue, add some immersion, add something of substance with the commentary. You know, NBA 2K does a great job of, again, if you press pause and then you press pause, you unpause the game, Kevin Harlan will say, and we're back, as if a commercial just happened. When a quarter ends, they say we'll be right back. They talk a little bit about the game, what the score is. You know, be back here at the Staples Center, blah blah blah, and it goes away. And then it comes back. And when it comes back, they make a reference to now that the commercial is over. Now the commercial's over. We're back in the action. They have courtside halftime interviews. They have end of game interviews. When you're doing My Career, you're my player. They have certain cutscenes where he'll put the headset on and you'll have an interview with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. And you know, that's immersion, because it's what fans of the NBA see, right? On a week to week basis. They see this stuff on TNT. They see this stuff, right? It's those things that, like, that's where you start to get a little bit disappointed when it comes to WWE 2K, because it's like the suits at Take-Two Interactive, they really don't have the fans' best interest at heart. They really don't. Because there's a lot of devs who say that they have ideas and they never talk about those ideas out loud. But you'll see interviews on YouTube with content creators that get a handle of get a hold of these developers, and they'll ask them these questions. And you always hear devs say, "Well, yeah, I had this idea. It was shot down. I've had a bunch of ideas. I've had a ton of ideas." Sometimes it makes me wonder, are some of the things that we talk about in these videos, have they been brought up? Have they been questions of like, hey, guys, should we do this? Because I think this would be pretty cool. Because it's really hard for me to believe that Ukes and THQ was that much better than 2K. Like, they had wrestling fans making the game. Like, you mean to tell me that, like, nobody working at 2K has thought of this? Right? Like, when a pay-per-view is over, it's something real small. Bring Michael Cole and Brian Sachs, actually bring the new commentators in just to record a little bit of new dialogue. They're not that busy. They can make the trip or go to them. Have them record before the show. Be like, okay, add in this dialogue. I mean, I thought it was so cool when I was playing WWE 12 and Michael Cole and King, they were like, you know, not less than 24 hours removed from Over the Edge pay-per-view, blah, blah, blah. And it was a great one. Like, to hear that in a video game back in 2012, that's insane to me that we don't get that, right? There's got to be something that allows us to continue to play Universe mode, and it already is so limiting. Even though they call it a sandbox, Universe mode is already so limiting. Immersion would go a long way. Immersion would go a long way. Trust me. And it starts with those small details, with the commentary, right? It starts with how hard is it to add number one contenders match? How difficult can that be? And have the commentators mention that this is a number one contenders match, and for said belt, for whatever belt that the player chooses it to be for. This is a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental title. This is a number one contender match for the United States title, the tag team titles. Whatever. Have commentators mention things. Have commentators during a night of your Monday Night Raw or SmackDown mention what has happened earlier. Guys, if you missed it, such and such attacked such and such in the locker room. Bring back promos as a cutscene option. Why does it have to be that difficult? Promos doesn't have to be the same system that it was before. Wrestling gamers, wrestling fans, they know what how they want to book their shows. Get us closer to doing that. But that's all I got to say about universe mode. My second thing that I wanted to run through, and hopefully I can run through this quicker. I don't want this video to be long, but I was thinking about how wrestling is today, and um, and what it's missing. And I know that I've talked a lot about this in the past, but it's missing emotional investment, right? When you're invested in something emotionally, it makes a world of difference. Think about it when we watch our TV shows and our movies. There's characters that we cheer for, there's characters that we hate. There's characters that we want to see get revenge, there's characters that we want brought to justice, whatever we're watching, right? Especially when it's good. You know, when something's not good, you just don't care. But when something's good, you care. You cry with these characters, you laugh with these characters, and you know that they're actors playing a role. But that's not that different from wrestling. Wrestling has always been something where it's a show. Wrestling has always been a show. Yes, what they do in between the ropes is cool. Even now, as an adult, we love what they do in the ring. Now, current day, they don't sell and make other guys look strong. Same with the women. It's just spot fest and you see them getting in position on TV in a live audience, seeing them get in position, not even making it look authentic or natural or organic. It just looks choreographed. However, there's no denying that the stuff that they do is impressive. Nobody's denying that. But the stuff wrestlers have done for decades has always been impressive. As a kid, I love the sound. I still, to this day, love the sound that the ring makes when somebody gets slammed. I love it. I love it. I love it. But at the same time, we didn't become fans of The Rock because The Rock bottom looked pretty. We didn't become fans of Stone Cold because, oh man, did you see the way the stunner looked? We became fans of these wrestlers, Shawn Michaels. We became fans of these wrestlers because of their persona, because they had that it factor. There was something about them, not the ring ability. There was something about them that you gravitated to. Maybe it was something that you related to, just like in a TV or a movie. We have characters that we relate to on TV. Why do you think people have their favorite characters on certain TV shows? It's because there is something in that character that they either aspire to be or they have a characteristic that they share with that person on screen. And that matters. And that is what's wrong with wrestling today, is because not enough of the men and women who lace up the boots care about provoking an emotion with the fans. Some of them do. Not all of them have this problem. But for the most part, it is amateur hour in comparison to what it used to be. Booking can be an issue a lot of the times in wrestling today, but it's not just the booking. It's on the wrestlers. It's on the writers. It's on the people who are kind of maybe even handicapping some of these guys and not allowing them to really be themselves. When me and my buddy the other day, literally, we were just watching a promo, Monday Night Raw promo, right? It was an interesting Monday Night Raw. It was, and I don't even remember. I remembered the promo, but this is a small little detail. The ring this is when the ropes went all red, but the middle rope was black for this Monday Night Raw. It was red, black, and red. Anyways, Stone Cold did his promo on Bret Hart because they were getting ready to fight, I believe, at the In Your House. And man, hearing Stone Cold talk about Bret Hart, it brought me back to that time period, because even though I've always been a Stone Cold fan, Stone Cold used to scare me in a way. And let me explain. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Stone Cold was so good at being Stone Cold, right? Like Steve Austin was so good at being his character. You really believed everything he said. When he said he was going to beat Bret Hart, whoop his ass and make him bloody, he said win, lose, or draw, I'm beating his ass. That's pretty much what he said. And you felt it. And I remember back then as a kid watching that, I was like, damn, like I was a fan then of Stone Cold in that moment, but he felt unhinged in a way. You know what I mean? Like it really felt like, wow, this dude is about to hurt Bret Hart. Like, is he going to kill him? Like that's literally what you felt. And by this time, of course I knew wrestling. We all knew wrestling was work, but it made you feel something. That's what needs to happen with wrestling. That's the problem. It's not so much the matches being a spot fest. That's a part of it. But the other part of it is that we got too many fans today who like wrestlers because they make stuff look good. It's not about making the matches look good. That's part of it. That's part of it. I'm passionate today. I'm sorry. I am. I'm passionate today. I'm not angry. I'm not yelling. I kind of am yelling, but I'm not. I'm not angry. But it's just that's what's missing, man. You can make the argument that it's missing with a lot of entertainment today. Fans of anything just want something to care about when they're watching it. And that's no different from wrestling. You want to be invested. Listen, I don't want to watch a match and see both guys being cheered for when I know one person is supposed to be the heel. Now, if you're going to cheer for both people, let it be natural. Let it be because a story is being told that way. Like a story's being told that way. Maybe you have two baby faces going at it and they're beloved baby faces. Nobody's acting like a heel, right? But there's a match and, fans are like, hey, I'm kind of torn. I don't know who to cheer for. Before I end this video, I want to talk about Rick Rude, ravishing Rick Rude. If you go back and watch Rick Rude's match, Rick Rude was like always a heel. Y'all can let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong or not. I really don't remember Rick Rude ever being a babyface. I could be wrong. I didn't watch him in WCW, but I know the WWE days, I don't really remember him being a babyface all like that. And I could be wrong. But I just don't remember it. I'm thinking of him as like a career heel. Anyways, Rick Rude used to have his little thing where he got into the ring and he would say, what I would like to have right now, depending on where they were, what I would like to have right now is for all of you fat, out of shape, Mississippi sweat hogs or something like that, pipe down and let your ladies see what a real man looks like. They would cue the music. He would take off his robe. Men booed Rick Rude. The ladies loved it. They would show the camera on the ladies in the crowd and they'll be smiling. But the men were booing. Now, here's the interesting part. And this kind of goes into what I'm talking about when fans nowadays cheer for wrestlers who are supposed to be the heel. You can cheer or boo for whoever you want to. And I get that. You can like whoever you want to. But I think fans need to realize that even though Rick Rude was booed heavily, it doesn't mean that he didn't have fans. If you look back and I watched it a few times in different Rick Rude matches. When Rick Rude would tell the crowd to shut up and he's going to take his robe off for the ladies, you saw guys booing, but they were smiling because they were enjoying the show. They were enjoying the theatrics. And I'm going to tell you when else I saw that in current wrestling, MJF. When MJF would be getting booed to no end because MJF plays a prick and he does it very well. This was early when AEW was hitting on all cylinders, right? He's cutting a promo and the fans are booing him. But when they were cueing the crowd, even when they were booing him, they had a smile on their face. Because they're like, this dude is funny. This dude is funny. He's got it. But he's making us boo him, but he's got it. Wrestlers today have got to learn how to have it. It's not just about learning all of the flips and dips in between the ropes. It's not about that. It's not about doing moonsaults on top of four different wrestlers standing on the outside of the ring. It's not about that. Provoke an emotion. We can chant "this is awesome" all we want because you've done something that was amazing. We know you're athletic. We know you can wrestle. That goes without saying. You wouldn't be on TV if you couldn't. Triple H and Shawn Michaels not letting you through and signing you if you can't wrestle. Nick Khan, they're not signing you if you can't wrestle. But do you have it? Do you have that thing that is going to make fans watch and tune in and want to tune in? Are you going to be able to be that hero that they love and they want to see succeed? Are you going to be that villain that they can't stand? And not because you just suck and they want you to go away, but it's because they're enjoying what you're doing. You think The Rock ever lost fans whenever he became a heel and was getting booed? People loved The Rock when he was in Nation of Domination, but he got booed until he got cheered, and then Vince would say, all right, we're about to make you a babyface now. What happened to those days? It's just like my Rick Rude example. People have loved The Rock his entire career, but when he was a heel, Hollywood Rock, booed out of the building. Booed out of the building until fans was just like, man, we love you too much. So they just started cheering. And so then you make your story accordingly and you change course. You change course. That's what happened with Bret Hart and Stone Cold. Stone Cold started to get cheered. They made Bret Hart start to kind of, fans were kind of, it was moving, it was swaying, and then made Bret Hart a heel. I'm sorry, y'all. This video's going on too long. Maybe I should have separated these videos, and I got real passionate. And when I got real passionate, I continue to talk. But listen, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had to get this stuff off my chest. I did. I had to get this stuff off my chest about Universe Mode and what wrestling is missing today. Emotional investment. You got to make me care. If I'm going to sit down and watch a show, I gotta care. I want to care. I don't want to just watch a wrestling match for the wrestling ability. Oh, this guy makes this move look really cool, so he's great. Or she's great because she makes this move look awesome. Nah, that ain't wrestling. That's not why I became a wrestling fan. Anyways, I got more gameplay stuff coming up for you guys. I just did a show of Monday Night Raw. I am finishing that up right now. But yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in as always. If you listen to this video, give it a like, thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section. Do you agree? Do you disagree? It is okay. It is a free country, man. You do not have to agree with me. I'm pretty sure a lot of you do, because you're subscribed to a channel that puts up nothing but old school wrestling stuff. So with that being said, this is your boy Soul Drum 86, and I am out. Peace.